Now, Forecast First, brought to you by Brick Street Insurance.
Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Spencer Atkins. Thanks for staying up late with us. Our Forecast First calls for a pretty decent night. 35 to 40 degrees. That's a lot warmer than it's been. Partly cloudy skies, maybe a little patch of fog. Wait till you see the warm up. Then we're going to talk about the chance for some big time rain. 13 News Weekend Super Bowl edition begins right now.
Tonight on 13 News at 11.
A West Virginia native makes it to the NFL only to be sidelined by an injury.
I've really grown into a man, really, throughout the whole football experience.
Now he aims to get back to the gridiron on Sunday.
Plus, we take a trip down Kentucky's country music highway for a little pickin'.
And a Lincoln County girl is grinning after Bluegrass State native superstar Chris Stapleton plays her heartstrings.
Even with a disability, she can do anything she wants to.
Except for this.
I might as well get stoned.
In Ohio, but only with a doctor's recommendation.
Medical marijuana has such a bad stigmatism, right? Like everyone thinks, oh, marijuana is so bad.
Plus, good, bad, or sticky icky.
A new Buckeye business will soon be selling medical marijuana in southeastern Ohio.
Working for you. This is 13 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Abney.
And I'm Patrick Simon. One West Virginian spent most of his life searching for his true family roots.
And thanks to modern technology, that search led him from the Mountain State all the way to the Lone Star State. 13 News reporter Haley Kosick has his story.
Jennifer and Pat, Brian Goley says life was great growing up. He had loving parents and 3 younger brothers, but there was always a part of him that he felt was missing. Tonight, his years of searching finally leads to a life-changing breakthrough. Flight 1980 out of Yeager Airport has been in the making since 1979.
Good morning.
What's your last name?
Gully.
Okay, Mr. Gully.
And Brian Goley is ready for takeoff.
Traveling to Houston today?
Yes, ma'am.
A short flight for a long-awaited reunion.
Here are your boarding passes, Mr. Gully. We'll be leaving from gate B1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. I just can't believe, I'm 40 years old and I'm going to meet my biological mother for the first time. Nervous, scared, excited.
Goley was given up for adoption. Here he is with his adoptive father, just months old. He was raised in Ohio with an all-American upbringing. However, there was always a lingering emptiness.
You learn to live with it, but then when it's so close to being filled, it's very gratifying. I'm excited.
An ancestry DNA test is about to give him an answer he's waited for his whole life.
Thank you, Mr. Gully. Have a great day.
After a few hours in the air, he lands. This is the moment.
Oh
my God, look at you. Look at you. So great. Goley's biological mom never stopped wondering about her baby boy, too.
I've been waiting 40 years for this. Oh my God.
At 18 years old, she had to make a very hard decision.
I got to have him one time. They put him on my chest when he was born. And I told him, I said, I love you, please come find me.
She wanted the kind of life for him she couldn't provide.
I'm sorry.
He's sorry. I've had a great ride.
But now, after 40 years, Trish gets to build on to the bond that began when she first held her son. A Mountaineer and a Texan are finally the family they both longed for.
I told her the apple don't fall too far from the tree. We'll get along just fine. I'm sure we'll butt heads eventually, but...
Oh, when I have my baby back.
And we would like to thank our CBS affiliate in Houston for capturing this special reunion. Goley will be visiting for the next 2 weeks, spending time and getting to know the family. He found out that he has aunts, uncles, cousins, and even 2 half-brothers. Next weekend, even more family members will come together to celebrate his grandpa's 90th birthday. We wish him all the best.
How wonderful. Thanks, Haley. Well, buying medical marijuana may officially be legal in the Buckeye State.
But for the dispensaries working to sell the product, it's not as easy as you might think. In southern Ohio, Buckeye Botanicals is still working through the process, and they could open within just a few weeks. But it's been a long road as they try to fight the stigma that also comes along with marijuana use and also stay within the strict guidelines that lawmakers have set.
Ohio is absolutely one of the most stricter of the states in regards to the medical marijuana program. Eventually, I do see them lightening up, but right now they want to make sure that everything is, T's are crossed, I's are dotted, that whole thing.
Well, when products do come to Buckeye Botanicals, they'll be locally sourced within the plants actually being grown right in Ohio. We're going to hear much more from Nick about his background in the marijuana industry and the path to legalization, what it's been like for the Buckeye State. That's tomorrow on 13 News.
The West Virginia legislature continues to grapple with the marijuana issue. Lawmakers are working on a fix to the state's medical cannabis bill. 2 years ago, the House and Senate passed medical marijuana, and the governor signed it into law. Now, banks, though, that do business with the state feared prosecution since marijuana is still illegal at the federal level. The banking solution has now been proposed. There's also another bill that would legalize any cannabis use for adults, including recreational. That is meeting stiff opposition. The governor, House Speaker, and Senate President are all opposed to legalizing adult use cannabis products. And to learn more about how lawmakers are handling both medical and proposed recreational marijuana in West Virginia, be sure to catch the Mountain State's premier political show, Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis, Sunday morning at 11:30. And don't worry if you miss it. You can always listen to our brand new podcast on Apple, Google, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Speaking of listening, many country music stars call Eastern Kentucky home. They grew up in small towns right along U.S. Route 23, better known as the Country Music Highway.
Now there's a museum in Paintsville, Kentucky featuring exhibits displaying memorabilia from many of those stars. 13
News photojournalist Chris Holtzapfel stopped in for a Thursday night pick-in session.
Welcome to the Country Music Highway Museum. We are here in Paintsville, Kentucky because of Loretta Lynn. She is the queen of country music. Everybody knows that.
I call it the Country Music Highway for a reason. People like Larry Coyle, Ricky Skaggs, Patty Loveless, and on and on and on and on. The Judge, of course, down in Boyd County. The songs that come from here and the people that sing them are about things that mean so much to the people of this region. Coal mine and farming, people are used to making a living the hard way. Folks come here because they love to pick and sing music, and there's a lot of talented people that come from this area. Places all over the country, all over the world, they may have a lot to offer when it comes to music, but you're standing in the heart and soul of it because this is where these people come from.
It's a good thing. It's got a good sound, got good people to run it, and it's just a good thing. People can dance. It's got a small dance floor, might say, not a big one, but people enjoy it and they dance, and I think it's a good thing for the county. It's a good thing, and the people appreciate it.
That's the reason why music is so important to the people of this area, is because it's not just a means of entertainment, it truly is a way of life.
Gamble your last game, gamble your last game.
Well, the Country Music Highway Museum is right off US 23 in Paintsville. You can watch and even do a little picking yourself every Thursday night with Front Porch Pickin' starting at 7 p.m.
Well, one country music star who grew up very near the highway is Chris Stapleton. He actually graduated from Johnson Central High in Paintsville. Last week, we introduced you to a country music loving 6-year-old named Ivy. Ivy loves to sing, she loves to play guitar, and she loves Kentucky native Chris Stapleton. Ivy's mom says the singer's music has made a huge difference in Ivy's life.
Even with a disability, she can do anything she wants to. Anything. She can be on stage one day. Maybe she'll be the next Chris Stapleton with a guitar, singing and dancing and selling out crowds.
Lots of people saw Ivy's story, including, get this, her idol Chris Stapleton. The very next day after our story aired, Ivy's mom Gina received an email from Stapleton's team inviting Ivy and her family backstage to his concert in Charleston this August.
You know what?
Stapleton.
You get to meet him. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Look here. Say thank you.
Thank you.
And get this, not only does Ivy get to meet her idol backstage, but Stapleton also sent Ivy some very special gear to help her get ready for the big concert. We will have much more on Ivy and her story tomorrow night on 13 News.
A pint-sized philanthropist is on a mission to get a date with West Virginia's sweetheart, Jennifer Garner.
Well, I can dance pretty good, so I could show some moves, and I'd be a good date because I know people that date. So I get tips from them.
In a video shared more than 38,000 times on Facebook, 10-year-old Colin Pates is asking Garner to accept his invitation to the Ronald McDonald House McGala. No word yet on if Garner has seen the video herself, but we have a hunch that she has seen it, considering her parents made a cameo in the clip. The McGala is about a month away, so there's still plenty of time for Garner to say yes.
Well, it felt a little bit more like spring out there today for sure than winter, and we have some 50s right now, spreading out to some 30s. Tomorrow we're going to look here for a pretty warm day as well. Partly cloudy skies to start with, but there will be a chance for a little spring-like shower with temperatures back in the upper 60s, and that's not as warm as it's going to be. We'll tell you more about that and some more rain in just a few minutes.
Down but not out. Coming up next on 13 News, a West Virginia native who dreams of playing on Sunday may have taken a big hit, but he has a game plan to get back on the gridiron, heading towards the end zone. That's after the break.
And you're watching a special edition of 13 News at 11. We're working for you.
Welcome back. Every player in tonight's Super Bowl game put in blood, sweat, and tears to get there.
Each has a story of their own unique journey with the game. 13 News reporter Hannah Getz joins us now with more.
Elijah Wellman is a Wayne County boy, a former WVU fullback, and currently signed with the Washington Redskins. He still has plenty of work ahead of him to make the final roster, but it's the moments that got him there that matter most.
Now here's a snap, and there's Bush being the decoy. It's a shovel pass ahead to Elijah Wellman, and he runs up for a first.
It's been a blessing, really. I mean, it's really, every little thing in life makes you who you are, and football has really made me who I am today, really. So
Elijah Wellman was born into a football family. His grandfather was the president of the local youth league, and his father was one of his very first coaches.
my dad was a little bit harder on me than all the other kids, just because I was his son. So that made me the football player I am today, too.
I always told my kids, I'll tell you what you did wrong on the way home. Your mom can tell you how good you are.
A coaching style made of tough love and the true meaning of the game.
It teaches you how to be humble when you win. It teaches you to be gracious in defeat. It teaches you how to respect others. There's some, and I've told my kids I coach all the time, if all you get out of this is football, I've failed you.
Wellman took a trip down memory lane, remembering those who have been there for the ride.
Oh man, this is a good picture.
What was it like kind of sitting down with your whole family, going back and watching?
Yeah, watching it, I swear I got chill bumps, like, thinking about it. And then when I watch it, it's like you get chill bumps again, just because it's like, dang, that was awesome, you know what I mean? Like, those were the days.
Wellman's parents, big brother Zach and little sister Sophie, have been there for him through it all.
A lot of people don't have that, and I'm very fortunate to have that.
This past season, they stood at the Timberwolves' 50-yard line during Wellman's high school jersey retirement ceremony, the first in program history.
You know, what he did here changed the face of the program, and then what he did at the next level. And, you know, you get paid to play, I think you deserve to get your number retired.
It's kind of nice, too, because Zach wore the same number, older son. Elijah worked, and then Jonah, her nephew, worked. So it's kind of like the Wellmans had kind of had that number for the last 10 years, and to see it retired was pretty special.
The Wayne County native then represented his state as a mountaineer, taking the field for West Virginia University.
Being from West Virginia, being from a blue-collared area, does that come out for how you played?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a gritty, you know, mean player. You know, I mean, football's not nice, so you go out there and you try to be as mean and as physical as you can.
Eventually, the grit and grime of the gridiron will leave Wellman with a college education, the love and support of his family and community, and memories to last a lifetime.
I've really grown into a man, really, like, throughout the whole football experience. I think I'm not ready for it to end whatsoever, but, you know, I'm expecting what it's going to be like, you know what I mean? I've had a good ride and enjoyed every moment of it, so.
Wellman's journey to the pros hit some adversity after signing with the Redskins last season as an undrafted free agent. He was injured in the first preseason game, landing on the injured reserve list and eventually waived. But with a futures contract currently in hand, he isn't giving up. I'm Hannah Getz, 13 News, working for you.
And we certainly wish him the best of luck. Well, the Super Bowl is in the books now, with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots pulling off another W in the big game. 13 News reporter Andrew Martin joins us now from the Super Bowl in Atlanta.
Good evening, Jennifer, from inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia. They are still on the field in somewhat of a capacity. The excitement not died down yet from the Patriots beating the Rams in Super Bowl 53. For New England, its 6th Super Bowl championship. Tom Brady, the quarterback for all 6. With the win, New England ties Pittsburgh for the most Super Bowl championships in NFL history. This game, not that exciting, not a lot of points scored, but there was drama at the end, and that key pick from Jared Goff sealed the win for the Patriots. New England, again, it wasn't pretty, but got the job done, and in the process, New England is on top of the world, and Tom Brady does it at 41 years old. We'll have to wait and see if he comes back for year number 42 of his life, 20th of his NFL career. Jennifer, back to you.
Very impressive. Well, new at 11, the Washington Post reporting the NFL says players suffered 29% fewer concussions during the 2018 regular season compared to the prior season. The NFL says it could be because of new training practices, the increased use of advanced helmets, and rule changes to the game. In 2017, a study of a sample of deceased NFL players found 110 of the 111 players had CTE, a degenerative brain disease believed to be caused by repeated blows to the head.
Girls can join the Boy Scouts for the first time in the group's 109-year history. The organization is called Scouts BSA. The Scouts say more than 77,000 girls joined the Cub Scout program last year alone. In November, the Girl Scouts sued over the planned name change, claiming trademark infringement. By the way, the World Scout Jamboree returns to West Virginia in July.
Have you filed your taxes yet? Keep this in mind. The first tax filing season under the 2017 tax law is now open. But if you're expecting a big refund, don't spend that money just yet. About 2/3 of households are paying less in 2018 individual income taxes, that is, than last year. And many households have already received the bulk of their tax cuts because less money was withheld from paychecks.
A study suggests reducing blood pressure may help to prevent dementia. Those treated with drugs to lower their blood pressure to below 120 were 19% less likely to develop mild cognitive impairment. That's often a forerunner of dementia.
Alembic Pharmaceuticals is accused of hiking the price of blood pressure drugs after its competitors had their drugs recalled last summer. The increases range from 329% to 469%. Representatives of Alembic did not respond to questions from USA Today.
And remember, 13 News is your station for everything politics. Be sure to tune in Tuesday night for comprehensive coverage of President Trump's State of the Union address.
You're watching 13 News at 11. We're working for you all across the tri-state.
And here's a live look outside over Charleston. Chief Meteorologist Spencer Atkins back with your complete weather forecast next.
Now, the area's most accurate forecast, Storm Tracker 13.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Spencer Atkins. Can you believe that game yesterday? That's right, it's after midnight. So here we are. It's Monday. Happy Monday to you. Here we go. Look at it, Huntington. Right now it's dry. We had a spring-like day today. It started off with the clouds, got up there nice and warm and toasty, and Clouds moved out. We have some pretty nice conditions. A little bit warmer to the south, let's say in Pikeville, than it would be to the north, around Athens, Parkersburg, where we have 30s. We have 50s elsewhere. Weather system out there to the west. Check out the numbers for today. Your average high is 44, and we hit 65. Now, not to the record. We're going to get close to those later in the week. Your average high is 44 in Huntington. We hit 66 degrees. Really something else. Talked about that temperature spread, clear skies, a little colder up here to the north. The ground's a little cooler still too. And then down here we have just a bit of a southerly breeze, 54 in Prestonsburg, 57 degrees in Pikeville. Now let's look ahead. We know that it's quiet. There will be some rain. It's going to be warm tomorrow as we start, well, today, later. There you go. Caught myself. It's still Monday. The rain moves in toward the evening hours, and we're talking about 6, 7 o'clock, and by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, it's already passed through with a few exceptions, a few little sprinkles on Tuesday morning, and then things dry out. Still on balance, it's going to stay very, very warm. And once again, I'm going to be surprised if some grass doesn't try to grow here over the course of the next couple of days. This will be in the 60s, even into the 70-degree range. Now we see the next round of rain on Wednesday approaching, and here it is by the evening. This is the one that we need to watch out. Our streams and creeks could certainly run high, and then the cold air catches it. Very familiar scene. Here we are on Friday with that changing into some snow. Don't think it's a whole lot of snow, but I do think it's a whole lot of rain. As you can see, our predictor shows 2 and 3 inches on the west side of the viewing area, so we need to watch out for the possibility of some flooding. So let's check it out here for tonight. 35 degrees, partly cloudy, and again, there'll be a few degrees warmer in places in eastern Kentucky. And we're going to go with 68 degrees for tomorrow. That's pretty warm. Still close to the records, but not quite there. A chance of rain late. Wednesday, that rain chance jumps from 30% to 60 overnight into Thursday. Then it just continues to rain until Friday, and you can see those marks jumping up there close to the records on Thursday. And so we'll keep an eye on all of that for you. And around with us, we're online, on mobile, and on social media. 13 News, we have you covered.
It's time now for the award-winning Sports Zone with Norman Seawright.
What a game that was. Very low scoring, not what a lot of us expected, but that's all right. It's probably still fresh in your memory, but we'll go back over what happened. In fact, nothing happened until the second quarter. The New England Patriots' Stephen Gostkowski kicked a 42-yard field goal, so first point on the board. Los Angeles Rams returned the favor in the third quarter. You have Greg Zuerlein nail one from 53 yards out. That ties the game. And then there's no more scoring until the fourth quarter. It's Sony Mitchell. He's rushing from the 2-yard line, and he scores the only touchdown of the game. And then, another field goal from Stephen Gostkowski from 41 yards out. It's the lowest scoring championship game in NFL history. The Patriots won their 6th straight Super Bowl, 13-3. Now, like it or not, the New England NFL dynasty is still strong.
Yeah, we grinded it out. It was tough. They made every play tough tonight. I give them a lot of credit. They played really well on defense. Fortunately, our defense really played the best game they have all season.
You see why they're a great football team. But, at the end of the day, you can always learn, Jim. And, certainly this is going to be a very humbling, tough one that you do learn from. But you got to demonstrate that mental toughness you talk about, and that's all I know how to do.
That's a good way to be. Now that the football season is over, let's take a second to think about the good that comes from the sport. The 3 West Virginia State football coaches who spent time playing for the Mountaineers can tell you they learned a lot from the game.
Overall, how to be a great leader and great follower. You're going to learn a lot of those things. All the ups and downs that's going to happen in life, you're going to get a big piece of that in football. And it just correlates so much to life.
It teaches you how to be humble. As a player, you're a little naive about things. You think you're going to be, an NFL star for 10 years and be a millionaire. And then football teaches you life lessons. I got the chance to meet, brothers. I got a chance to learn how to network.
It builds character. It builds work ethic. It builds discipline. I mean, there's a lot of different leadership dynamics on a football team. There's some guys that don't say a thing and just kind of speak with their actions. And there are guys that have influence on others. And so, yeah, there's a lot. There's stuff that you learn, like in football, in the locker room, being part of a group.
And that concludes football season.
Official, yeah.
It's a long
and so
year.
we have to say, I know you are excited. Your team won tonight.
Yeah.
So Good job,
Fantastic
Patriots.
season, and we hope to see them do it again next year, but some of you probably disagree, and we understand that. Appreciate that tonight.
Hey, as we're heading out the door in the morning, what can we expect?
So it's a warm start, it's a warm finish. We'll end up in the 60s, and there will be some rain by the evening commute, and then we're up near records by Thursday, but it could flood, so stay with us. Busy week.
We thank you for joining us tonight.
Sticking around for a special late edition after the Super Bowl. We'll see you back here tomorrow, or actually later today.
Yeah.